right, what's day one highlights?
Day one highlights. I mean, the first dive right by the dive shop was amazing, but that salt pier was sick.
Yeah, what do you got?
I like the two turtles swimming together. We didn't have our cameras on the first dive because we wanted to focus on proper checkout, but I really enjoyed the visibility of the first dive, the ambient light, and then the second dive was straight up adventure. Riding to Jive City and around the island was probably the highlight.
We dove with Peter on the first few boat dives, but had no idea he'd be the team's instructor for the advanced open water course.
Video?
I just went to video.
He is a Dutch underwater photographer and PADI dive instructor, and he operates Great Blue Photography that specializes in photography experiences for divers and customized underwater photo shoots. Now it was time for Elazar and Brett to complete their goal of getting their PADI Advanced Open Water certification so we could all dive beyond 60 feet or 18 meters into 100 feet or 30 meters. This way we could all do some more technical dives on the island. I had freedom to come along and observe as a certified rescue diver. The rest of the dives we planned were all dependent on Elazar and Brett getting their next certification.
The PADI Advanced Open Water requires 5 dives: deep, navigation, and peak performance buoyancy, which are mandatory, and night dive, fish identification, and drift that are optional. After reviewing the skills for the day, we would embark on attaining several of the required skills to complete our coursework. Our eyes were set on getting certified over the course of 3 days, and then using the additional skills to bolster our confidence for self-guided shore dives. The deep dive specialty was such a monumental moment, and we continue to look for signs of narcosis, which feels something like being drunk underwater. I did not have any symptoms, but more than anything, I noticed there was an absence of color at depth. The best part of getting certified in Bonaire is when you do your skills training, you're right on the reef, and you never know what you will see.
My personal goal for both Brett and Elazar was to take them to the world-famous Hilma Hooker shipwreck because it required an advanced certification right at recreational limits.
The biggest giant southern stingray continued to be seen throughout the dive. I think it was there to provide us a reminder that we are on his turf.
Where we at? La Cantina Cerveceria.
Also at the same place.
In between dives, we would wind down with local beers and get inspired with Sylvia Earle documentaries. The next day, we were on to complete the course and get our official certification.
The day had finally come for the guys to experience Bonaire's famous Hilma Hooker shipwreck. She is a 236-foot Dutch freighter that is fully intact, resting on a sandy bottom at 100 feet or 30 meters. The wreck is very approachable by shore or boat and is laying over on her starboard side, exposing the hull and the top deck for exploration. The story goes that the boat was having rudder trouble when passing Bonaire, and she was towed to Bonaire's harbor, where authorities realized she was sailing without proper paperwork. She was searched, where the authorities found 25,000 pounds of marijuana stashed behind the bulkhead. The ship was impounded and became difficult to maintain, and the Bonaire Tourism Authority approved a spot for her to be sank safely. She was sank on September 12, 1984, near Angel City dive site. For me, this is my second visit to the wreck, And knowing that I had the support of the instructor, I was able to swim off further from the group and get some different perspectives of the entire wreck and the divers navigating around it. It was great to truly see the awesome size of the wreck and how eerie it truly was.
We managed to swim through a few areas of the wreck's upper deck and windows. It was pretty dark down there, but our camera lights enhanced the experience. I have always loved exploration and adventure, and for some reason shipwrecks have always fascinated me. I had been patiently waiting to dive on the wreck for several days. I knew I needed all my training up to this point to complete this dive, but I also wanted to take it in and enjoy it.
After Hilma Hooker, we went for a drive around the island and winded down from the adventures of the day. We wanted to check out the northern coastline where the island was much more barren and had turbulent waters. We stumbled upon a historical sign and barred off viewing area. We could not believe our luck.
As we drove through the wilderness and cacti-lined roads, we could see a distinct rock shelter emerge.
What?
We were in disbelief, and Brett, who is a mural artist back home, had a deeper connection to seeing the writing on the wall.
Oh, wow.
We just stumbled on some cave art.
The Star Watchers Cave.
We parked and decided to have a closer look where we found cave paintings nearly 1,000 years old. It was time to celebrate getting our advanced certification. The last 3 days had been challenging, but needed for the rest of the trip.
I was excited for the guys to reach this part of the journey. Now we could continue our exploration of Bonaire, but now we would be completely on our own.